Kart 7!
Mario Kart 7 is the 7th installment in the famous Mario Kart series, obviously, and was released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2011. Being the game that followed the great Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7 had a lot to live up to, and we're about to go into why it did not accomplish that. As we know, many Mario Kart games have a gimmick that they implement into their new titles to try to enhance the racing experience and sell games. Of course, games like Mario Kart DS and Wii did not necessarily have a gimmick, but the two newest ones do, as well as Double Dash. Mario Kart 7 was the first Mario Kart game to introduce gliding and underwater racing. A lot of tracks in the game now have blue ramps that when you go off of them, you spawn a glider on your kart and fly through the air. Also new in tracks are underwater sections that when you drive through them, your kart gains a propeller and the driving feels more light and floaty. These are both good and welcomed additions to the Mario Kart experience that do make the game more fun to play, even though they may feel a little underwhelming the first time you play it. I think the best thing to come from these additions is the fact that it opens up the track creation, since now players can drive underwater. The gliding allows for this as well, although not to the same degree, but there are a couple tracks that really take advantage of the gliding mechanic that we'll get into. Another new feature added to this game is the kart customization. Before in Mario Kart games you would choose a character and then select a specific kart to use with said character. The Mario Kart 7 introduced a new way to customize this experience. Basically you pick a body, pick some moves to go on the body, and then choose a glider, which of course you will see sparingly. At first this feature seems like a game changer, but eventually it gets a little stale and it's just kind of there. Now it's definitely still better than games like Mario Kart 64 where everyone drove the same vehicle, but it's still a little bit underwhelming. As far as the character selection, they have Yoshi, they have some other people, that's all you need to know. Now let's get into the tracks. As far as the Nitro tracks go, they're similar to this game in that they are not the most memorable to me, except for maybe one or two. I don't know what it is about them. They're not bad by any means, but not the greatest either collectively. Toad Circuit is your basic beginning track that you just play when you first get into the game to figure out the controls and everything. Not much more to it. Daisy Hills is a very soothing course that is very solid for a Mushroom Cup track. There's a little town to go through, some sheep to look at, and the first real gliding section you'll play. Cheap Cheap Lagoon was basically just created to show off the new underwater feature, and it does a good job of that. You immediately jump in the water and make your way through the lagoon that's also full of clams before you go through a sea cavern area where you have the option to either go underwater or glide over it. It was a good idea, but not the best this track could have been. Shy Guy Bazaar is an interesting Mushroom Cup track that has you driving through a Middle Eastern market. There are lots of pots to avoid and cool aesthetics like fine carpets and cool buildings to immerse you in the race. Woohoo Loop is a crossover track coming from Wii Sports Resort, in which it was an area you fly around and explore on. It makes a pretty solid track as well. In addition to being a crossover track, it is also the first Mario Kart track to not have laps and be divided into sections, so you only drive through the track one time per race. This is a great concept that makes tracks feel more fresh when you play them and really opens up opportunity for different kinds of track creation that we'll see with a couple other tracks in this game. Mario Kart 7's edition of Mario Circuit is actually one of my favorites. The highlight is driving through Peach's castle into a fun gliding section. Overall the course just drives well and I always enjoy playing it. Music Park is by far one of the better tracks in this game and one of the best in Mario Kart in general. Musical instruments everywhere, bouncing off drums, piano keys that play notes when driven on, and even giant music notes that jump around and try to squish you. This track is a blast to play. I mean, even the piranha plants just dance to the music. Rock Mountain is exactly why Nintendo made gliding sections. This beautiful mountain course has your character gliding down a huge cliff and then going back up the mountain when avoiding huge boulders and doing it all over again. This is a great track to show off the gliders, and I wish there were more like it. Piranha Plant Slide is one of my favorites in this game. Pipes have always been a big part of Mario games, so it only makes sense to create a race course out of them for Mario's racing game, right? There's lots of flowing water to help you go faster, pipes to trick off of, and obviously piranha plants to avoid. And also one of the better underwater sections. Wario Shipyard is one of those tracks that sounds awesome, but it's kind of underwhelming to play. There's nothing bad about this course with sunken pirate ships, fun gliding sections, and all kinds of underwater obstacles, but it's just not that memorable to me, and I think many people would agree with me. This is one of those tracks that just really need a fun shortcut or something to spice it up. Full disclaimer, I am not a huge fan of Neo Bowser City. It's a rainy city that gives off kind of a depressing vibe, and it's not that fun to race either. I don't hate it, but I never really look forward to playing this one. Maku Woohoo is basically just a better version of Woohoo Loop. Aesthetically, it's pretty much the same except now there's a sunset. There's a cave to drive through, a little castle shortcut, and a massive gliding section to end the race. It's also another sectioned race like Woohoo Loop, and it's a ton of fun. If you're a fan of Donkey Kong Country, then you'll love DK Jungle. It was basically taken straight out of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Tons of Donkey Kong themed obstacles and enemies, and even a banana temple to go through. This is one of the best Nitro tracks and is a great way to start off the Special Cup. Rosalina's Ice World is one of the more underrated ice courses. Now it's probably not the best, but I am a fan of this track. I like the slippery ice walls and the other water section, plus the music is really great and makes it more enjoyable. I might could see why a lot of people don't like this one, but I personally enjoy it. Mario Kart 7's version of Bowser Castle is not the best by any means, but it's still solid and has some unique features. Split pathways, a giant spinning barrel, an underwater section with lava geysers, and a pretty decent gliding section where you fly through a hoop instead of the finish line. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty good Bowser's Castle. Now we've come to the best track in the game and one of the best tracks in Mario Kart history, Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road. Nintendo really went all out on this Rainbow Road. You start by jumping across a bunch of boost panels, then bounce on a white space mushroom, drive on the rings of Saturn, then to the freaking moon, a giant spinning cylinder with boost panels, and then finishing it up by flying through basically an asteroid field. This is truly an incredible experience and by far the best course in the game. The only negatives I have with it are that it is only one lap and it's another one in sections, and the fact that it's a little on the easy side for a Rainbow Road. But overall, this is an amazing track. Now as far as the retro tracks go in this game, this is the best selection of retro tracks we will probably ever see. To name some of the more notable ones, which are most of them, there's Wii Mushroom Gorge, DS Luigi's Mansion, N64 Koopa Troopa Beach, Wii Coconut Mall, DS Waluigi Pinball, N64 Calamari Desert, DS DK Pass, GCN Daisy Cruiser, Wii Maple Treeway, Wii Koopa Cape, GCN Dino Dino Jungle, DS Airship Fortress, and SNES Rainbow Road. That's 13 out of the 16 tracks that are bangers. I really cannot stress enough how stacked this retro track selection is, and this is probably the only Mario Kart game where the retro tracks are better than the Nitro tracks. Mario Kart 7 is a good Mario Kart game that introduced many new features to the Mario Kart series. There are a lot of good tracks, especially the retro ones. Where it lacks is in modes such as no versus mode and only 2 types of battles in coin runners and balloon battle. With everything I've said up to this point, my final rating for Mario Kart 7 is a 7 out of 10, ironically. Not necessarily one of the best Mario Karts, but it's no doubt a solid one. If you disagree or agree with my review, let me know in the comments, as this is just my opinion. If you would like me to review a certain Mario Kart game, let me know that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to keep karting.